Well, hi, coaches. This is Mark Davis, your professor from Concordia University, Irvine. Just wanted to talk to you about an upcoming event. This video highlights what you need to know to write a strong Chapter 4 Christian Virtue and Civic Responsibility paper. That paper will be due on July 2nd. You should have already downloaded the template and printed out the requirements and instructions and the references and citation documents found in week 6 on Canvas, which we will be referencing in this video. If you have not done that, please do that now. These 3 documents are the key to writing a good paper that will meet all the requirements for this class and the master's program. This paper will be submitted to your professional portfolio, which is a class called MCAA 595. First, let's pull up the template. Follow along as I talk you through it. You must write your paper directly on the template. It has already been formatted for you in APA format. This will save you lots of time trying to set up formatting specifications. If you try to copy and paste from another document, the formatting will not be correct. The title page should not be altered except for adding your name and due date. Then delete all of the yellow highlights. Page 2 is the abstract. Do not edit the text that is not highlighted. Add your 3 virtues and a 1-sentence definition of each virtue in your own words. The 3 virtues are your key words. They should be lowercase and not italicized. You may only write about 3 virtues, no more. Please do not write a 4th virtue. Page 3 begins the body of the paper. This is the most important part. The introduction has been written for you, so do not change the wording. Add your virtues to the last sentence. The next 3 sections are a discussion of the 3 virtues you have chosen. The virtues must be one of the 10 listed on the template. Begin each section with the virtue as your subheading. It should be bold, centered, and capitalized. Paragraph 1 defines the virtue for all 3 of the virtues. Paragraph 1 does that. You must include a definition from the online Merriam-Webster dictionary, and the wording must be exactly as quoted from the dictionary. You may use other form of the virtue. For example, you might define love and loving to fit the context of the paper. You must cite each word or words you define both in the text on the reference page, then explain what the virtue means. Paragraph 2 describes how the virtue is implemented daily in athletics. This is important to us as athletic directors and administrators. Describe how the virtue affects the teaching and the outcome of practices, games, and etc. Also explain how the virtue will affect the players in their future as parents, employees, and members of society. Paragraph 3 is the example of a named coach, athlete, or leader who demonstrated the virtue. You may use internet or outside sources to gain information, but do not include direct quotes. Therefore, the source will not be included on the reference page. The last section is the conclusion. Reread the introduction to review the main ideas of the paper. The conclusion should tie all the important points together with a restatement of the main idea and the 3 virtues. This paragraph should be brief and concise. Don't repeat what has already been discussed. End with a final statement that mentions how the virtues will affect the athlete both now and in the future. The last page is a reference page where you list only sources quoted in the paper. It must be on a separate page. The template has a list of all possible sources, and they are already formatted for you in APA 7. You should not have to make any changes to the references for the class text. Edit your Merriam-Webster sources to fit your virtues and delete all the references that you didn't use. The last step before submitting your paper is to proofread it to make sure that your meaning is clear, and then run it through Grammarly. I can tell if you didn't do this step, and you will lose points for not editing. A good idea is to make sure that you have somebody else read this paper too. There's a copy of Canvas in the grading checklist that I will be using to grade your paper. Review it to make sure that you have followed all the requirements. Okay, now let's go to the requirements instruction document that you just printed out. The top section lists the APA 7 formatting requirements. The template has already been set up to follow the specifications. If you type directly on it, your paper will be correctly formatted. If you copy and paste, it most likely will not be. A few more important things to note on this page. The paper must be written in third person. No first or second person such as I, we, our, you, etc. Use past tense for direct quotes. Maxwell said, or he stated, not says. Do not use contractions. Do not use the name of the book in the text of the paper. Points will be deducted if you do. The paper must be a minimum of 4 full pages, not including the title page and the abstract. Follow the instructions listed in the next section as we discussed when we review the template. Direct quotes. This section explains the 3 direct quote requirements. The paper must include 3 direct quotes, 1 for each virtue. The quotes must come from at least 2 of the class texts listed. In addition, you may add quotes from the Bible and the 10 Christian virtues and civic responsibilities, but they do not count as the 3 required. And you may not use more than 6 quotes in the whole paper. No internet sources may be used for direct quotes. The quotes will be checked and must be verified according to the page number you listed in your citation. Make sure you have no ebooks too. This brings us to the next document you will need to help with your citations. This is a reference in Citations APA 7th edition. All citations must be correctly cited in APA format. Samples and explanations are given for regular and block quotes. Those 40 words or more are called block quotes and are listed by each author for each reference. Both the reference that will be listed on the reference page and the citation that you will use when citing the in-text quotes are listed for each author. Remember that all the class texts are already formatted for you on the reference page, and you only need to delete the sources that you did not use in the paper. The only text you need to add to the reference page is identified by the yellow highlights. But please make sure you delete all the yellow highlights from the entire paper when you are finished. If you ever have any questions or concerns, please shoot me an email or give me a call. We have about a month, before this paper is due. But as you're working through the class right now, deciding on the 3 virtues that you're going to be working on, you could be gathering information for this very, very important paper that you're going to be submitting. Okay, well, God bless, and I hope you have a great day in the Lord.